Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castoreno. We want to get to some of the biggest stories of the week so you can stay in the know. At number 5 this week, a push by Attorney General Ken Paxton to strike down the state fair's gun ban just hit another dead end. A Dallas judge dismissed his lawsuit without giving an explanation. Paxton claimed the ban violates state law, but the city said the fair operates as a private event on rented land. The fair once let licensed guests carry concealed guns, but banned them after a 2023 shooting wounded 3 people. And this is the second time a judge has shut down Paxton's challenge. Fair officials say they're standing by the ban and putting safety first. The policy will stay in place for this year's events. At number 4, there will be fewer paper license plates on Texas roads with House Bill 718 going into effect. Car buyers are going to get a permanent black and white metal license plate at the dealership. There are other colors for different categories, such as out-of-state buyers. This new system was signed into law to cut down on drivers exploiting paper tag systems to avoid registering their vehicles and toll tags.
Anyone that has like paper plates in the streets, they could just take a picture, print it out, and anyone could use those plates. There could be a little mistakes that can happen in the first, but after we get to know more about the system, I think that it will be easier for all of us dealers.
Now that dealerships can no longer issue paper license plates, any Texas paper license plate on the road after September will be expired. Hey, when kids go off to college, many live in dorms with close quarters. And as Jeremy Baker reports, living in that kind of environment makes illnesses spread more easily, especially when it comes to meningitis.
There are 2 kinds of meningitis, viral and bacterial. The second, bacterial, is much harder for both the body and antibiotics to fight, so the long-term complications and risk of death is much higher.
Like most teenagers, felt like I was, 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And then I got sick with what I thought was probably the flu or something.
John Grimes was 19 years old and a sophomore in college. His illness was not as mild as he thought. It was bacterial meningitis.
I woke up 8 days later in the hospital, blind, disoriented, and more than just a little lucky to be alive.
And the bacteria that spreads meningitis can be contracted through common behaviors, so kissing, coughing, sharing drinks, utensils.
The World Health Organization says common symptoms of meningitis include fever, neck stiffness, confusion or altered mental status, a headache, sensitivity to light, nausea, and vomiting.
We always recommend talking to your physician about what your risk factors are, and even if you're eligible for those vaccinations.
The National Meningitis Foundation says up to 1,000 people in the U.S. contract meningitis every year. About 1 in 6 people die from the disease. Of those who survive, 1 in 5 live with permanent disabilities, and 1 in 5 teens have not received the meningitis vaccine.
Grimes says to avoid permanent disability, get the vaccine.
I had not been vaccinated for meningitis, which is why I'm so passionate about trying to spread awareness so things like this don't happen to other people.
For more information about meningitis and the meningitis vaccine, we have the links with this story on KENS5.com. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Stick with us. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion. You see hard work. You see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem? Call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you didn't get paid for that. Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the Ken's family because the Ken's family is the San Antonio family.
I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on Ken's 5+.
All right, now back to our countdown. We're learning the man accused of killing the founder of Las Palapas was actually his nephew. 39-year-old David Ruiz is facing a murder charge. Police say Ruiz stabbed 78-year-old Rana Costa several times inside his home Tuesday. He had just traveled to San Antonio from California and was invited to stay at his uncle's home. Police are still working to determine a motive behind the attack. Meanwhile, former employees of Las Palapas are opening up about the man they say was kind to everyone.
Always had a smile on his face, and he was just, sorry, he may cry. He was very warm and genuine. It just really breaks my heart to know that someone will beat options.
It was very shocking, and it was very tragic. I couldn't even believe it.
The current CEO of Las Palapas is also opening up about Acosta's death. He said in a statement, quote, "Ron should not be remembered as a victim, but as a man who loved the Lord, gave freely to those in need, and built something that brought joy to thousands every single day." And at number 2 in our countdown, the impact of President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill would likely be felt first by the most vulnerable Texans if passed. The federal food assistance program could see cuts of more than $180 billion, which would shift more costs onto states to cover SNAP benefits. The CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank, Eric Cooper, says he's been keeping busy in Washington, pushing lawmakers to reconsider the cuts.
It is the biggest betrayal of services to those that are vulnerable that I've ever seen in my 32-year career. We're literally taking money from the poor and giving it to the rich. It is the opposite of Robin Hood.
On the healthcare side, policy experts say between 1.6 and 1.8 million Texans would be affected by these cuts. And most of us wouldn't think of farm animals as relaxing unless, of course, you've been to Calvary Farms in Atkins, where you're literally encouraged to cuddle with cows. And that's what Barry Davis did in this week's Texas Outdoors.
Molly Edram and her husband Jason have a menagerie of farm animals.
We've got donkeys, we've got pigs, we've got cows, we've got the emus, we've got turkeys.
This is Cavalry Farms Outreach.
They're all pets. This is their forever home, all of them.
A place where everyone can come and leave their stress at the gate.
And I've always wanted an animal therapy farm. I think animals are incredibly therapeutic. They come to you with no judgment. They just love you unconditionally. I think they're incredibly healing.
Research proves animals help relieve stress, they calm you down, and overall improve your mood.
It's so weird, but so cool. I love it.
Molly DeLuca is proof. Her family was visiting from Houston and looking for something different.
No, I saw like people cuddling with cows. I was like, surely you can't like actually cuddle with them, but here I am.
The cows are so tame, if you love on them long enough, they'll literally lay their head in your lap.
The weight of his head on my knee.
Yep.
I mean, I thought he'd just kind of lay there, but no, he's like full on.
Cuddle.
Yeah, he's ready to go to sleep.
It's not just cows either. Pigs, goats, emus, even the alpacas want a little love.
So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold it up and then you're gonna tell him, give me a kiss, and he's gonna boop your nose.
All right, give me a kiss. Nice.
But Cavalry Farms is not a petting zoo.
I've never been so excited to scoop poop and pet animals in my whole life.
It's a fully functioning animal rescue farm for everyone to enjoy.
We are geared 100% towards things that are family, community, mental health related. We are extreme mental health advocates. We do a lot with the neurodivergent community, as well as vets, PTSD. Everybody needs this.
The more time you spend here, you can tell the animals need it too.
They're all pets. This is their forever home, all of them.
And they're here for you pretty much anytime you need to cuddle.
I love that. Everyone needs a hug every now and then. Stick with us, we're going to be right back.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio's own. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call Ken 5.
Every week, Ken's 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
It was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
just call Ken's. Weekdays at 6, only on Ken's 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call Ken 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching Ken's 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
So good!
that is fantastic, catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on Kent's 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. Now we want to get to Meredith Haas, who's taking quantum computing and bringing back hearing and much more.
So scientists are bringing hearing back for those who are deaf. And they're doing so using a virus. Basically, they're using it to go into the inner ear. Ultimately, it proved to improve auditory function across the patients in the study. Then there's quantum computers. Yes, they are being developed, researched, and a lot is going into it. And they're showing to be much better than the classic computers. And as researchers continue these developments, it's basically going to help us break free of coding that's just this classical way of coding and instead move us into a way that is very different and beyond its years. So the ocean is getting saltier in some areas. This is happening around Antarctica. Basically, as the Southern Ocean gets saltier, the sea ice is melting at a record speed. That area is about the size of Greenland. Now scientists are seeing some things they haven't witnessed in 50 years. Thank you for watching this week's Quick Hits. I'm Meredith Haas.
Thanks so much, Meredith. And at number 1 in our countdown, the jury has reached a decision in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, clearing the hip-hop mogul of the most serious charges. The jury found Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. He was found guilty of 2 charges of arranging transportation to engage in prostitution. The verdict is seen as a big win for the defense. Prosecutors argue the hip-hop mogul was a leader of what they described as a criminal enterprise over 2 decades, one that forced women into engaging in abusive sex acts during drug-fueled parties he called freak-offs. The defense argued all sexual encounters were consensual. The transportation to engage in prostitution charge does carry a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Combs has been convicted on 2 counts, so he could receive a prison sentence of up to 20 years. A judge has ordered Combs to stay behind bars until a sentencing hearing, which takes place October 3rd. All right, and thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on Ken's 5 Plus. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.